15 conference.
Building a global village. That is the theme with which we are going. Vignan University is going for the first international and interdisciplinary conference.
Last year, in the month of November, we are conducting the DST-sponsored conference on chemistry, and that is also national conference. And last month, Mathematical Society, Andhra Pradesh Mathematical Society conference we are conducting.
I feel immense pleasure to be associated with this international interdisciplinary conference on language, literature, cultural studies and knowledge resources. This type of interdisciplinary conference is the need of the hour.
Our English team and library team, they took initiation. They started working on this, and I must congratulate both the teams, our library team and the language team, for taking a lot of pains and taking initiation for this conference.
As the registrar of this deemed university in Guntur, it is my proud privilege once again to welcome you wholeheartedly for this first ever international conference on intercultural dialogue.
And the theme of the topic is building a global village. And I don't find any topic which is much global, in size, in topic, in substance, in scope, than your topic. Your wholesale, topic encompassing language, literature, culture, and knowledge resources.
Being a vice chairman of the technical university, even though I prefer to sit on the other side of the dais, as the vice chancellor has mentioned, Madam Sarda has forced me to stand here and say a few words.
It's what teachers do all of the time. As a teacher, one-to-one with your students, you are making assessments of where they are and where they need to be. As a learner, for the students, you are testing yourself. You are looking at what you have learned and what you need to learn. So testing can be really exciting.
Language, literature, and cultural studies and knowledge resources is very timely and appropriate as it complements and supports global dialogue, pedagogy that is aimed at greater global awareness and international citizenship.
How to build a global village with the knowledge resources. So a global village, the term was introduced, the concept was introduced by the Marcus McLuhan and Quentin Pior in 1968 in their work, War and Peace in the Global Village.
We wish the conference great success on behalf of the National Association of English Teachers called LTI, English Language Teachers Association of India, and we have a Guntur chapter which is co-sponsoring, co-organizing this conference.
Lot of research takes place and research journals are there, and we think that all this knowledge is easily available to all the people who are interested. So again, this could be controlled by the use of patents and other means, and actually research that is oriented towards very important things is never shared by people. It is sacred. So the topic is chosen very well,
and this topic is very interesting and very challenging. Building a global village through intercultural dialogue and knowledge resources in relation and interaction between language and literature, and how it shapes the cultural ethos of human society. The aim of this whole seminar is building a global village.
Because of its truly interdisciplinary character, I'm sure we'll have a lot of ideas and views being exchanged back and forth and so on. And on my part, I'll just thought I'll say a few words about the relationship between language and literature.
We need to explore whether it has that space for social, political, and emotional emancipation. That's what we aim to do. I mean, as student of humanities, we make this fine distinction between concept and reality. Life is a concept, but how you live your life is a reality.
On behalf of the Institute for Cross-Cultural Studies and Academic Exchange, I would like to thank the administrators and Dr. Shoshikant Kiran and her colleagues. And I'm so proud of you students, and I want everybody to give a special hand for these students.
All the distinguished scholars from different parts of the world who are here on both sides of the dais. It's my great privilege and honor to take part in this mega event that is so nicely organized. You have brought distinguished minds from different corners of the world, and they have been asked to address a very important theme, building a global village and addressing the topic of language, literature, cultural studies, and knowledge resources. I very much look forward to the panel sessions and the other presentations from which we all hope to learn a great deal.
An inbuilt system of the language. If English is a native language, then all the grammatical systems of English with fundamental repertoire of vocabulary has been built into the human mind, the child's mind, and with that the child is able to interact in the language with adults and with other children.
Anyhow, for that, metadata. Now in Google, can you search, I want publications of Ranganathan from 1940 to 60. Can you get that? You give Ranganathan 60, 1940, 1960. Wherever 1940 is there, 60 is in between gone first. It doesn't distinguish Ranganathan. If it is there, it pulls out. Which Ranganathan we do not know. Whether he was a politician Ranganathan or library science Ranganathan. It doesn't. Okay. Of course, metadata can include many things. Okay. There could be metadata about Vignan University or about an individual or Professor Sudarshan Rao.
Journals versus print journals by healthcare professionals in GSNL Medical College and the KLR's Vinola's Dental Sciences.
Works, you can have pictures. What I'm saying is for complex items of vocabulary, do you think it is possible to have pictures?
That's difficult. And the most important thing in call is recently introduced as a CAPT. CAPT seems to be effective improving pronunciation accuracy, and as well as how much that means the gap between word to word, or the gap between sentence to sentence, or the gap between paragraph to paragraph.
As human beings, we depend on language just like we depend on air and water. And today when we talk about communication, today in the present era, what comes to our mind is the technology and media and the innovative practices which we can actually practice in a classroom using these technological tools and media tools and all that.
My classroom, come on to chatting room every day in the evening when I respond to a surprise to me, and next day when I go back to my class, they won't talk to me.
We talked about two things in this particular paper. The first thing I'll be talking about is what the e-learning tools that are very much important, that you can incorporate the same into the classwork.
And there we can have the very ugly psychological exploration of women's psyche
that individuals have towards death and dying. However, phonology will give you understand the concept of immortality.
Previously, we used to talk about IT, information technology, but now everybody speaks it's a busy
women are seen as second-rate citizens. They are not seen as intellectuals. Women are always in a lower position, either in leadership or in other activities. So, myself and other colleagues, women, started asking questions about male domination. And in those days, that means in 78, 79, 1978, 79, even the word male domination is very derogatory.
So what I found very interesting in those stories, there is a theme that is connected with the seminar topic. Design means whatever, even when women were studying, whatever their fathers wanted them to study, they studied. And they were mostly shaped by the aspirations of the male members. So women writers strove to retrieve subject status to women through several strategies. These are briefly making women central figures in fiction, giving prominence to women's voices, locating narration within women's consciousness.
And other thing is, you can be committed to the truth. You see. All artists are committed to the truth. You see. Women writers, male writers, I mean whoever have embarked on writing with some sense of commitment. You see. Truth is important, but the truth as you see it, you see, relative to your own time and space. You see. This is what I always think, and my favorite example is always someone like Shakespeare, for example, who wrote some of the greatest works in literary history of any language. I mean, he lived under an extremely repressive era, and he responded to that repression.
I have my boss, my superordinates ordering me. I have my children to command me, to tell, even as employee, this is how you need to dress, this is how you need to go out, this is how you need to be with others. My husband definitely is there. What kind of progress did we make? Is a real question. And I've been wondering, really, did we give any kind of freedom to my girls? At least to my girls, after I am educated, I am a doctorate, I keep working, I am at a university, I give good education to my girls. My daughters' lives did not change much. My eldest one, now today, husband educated, very well settled family. She does the home work, taking care of the husband, runs again to IT sector. 8 to 8, sometimes 8 to 10. What kind of change did it bring in her life at least? The next generation. Technically equipped generation.
I have some theoretical answer that feminism always values housework and rearing of children very valuable, and men also should share in the housework and child rearing. And society has a responsibility to give women and men to rear their children and to work around their homes.
Patanjali, the author of the Yoga Sutras, and Descartes, the author of Meditations on First Philosophy. Both are very famous thinkers, and both of them are people who emphasized something called substance dualism. So substance dualism is the idea that there is a spiritual self or an immaterial self, and then there is the material world, and that they are separate.
And many of you will have heard of the terms summative assessment and formative assessment. And I'd like to unpack those, and then let's see how those concepts fit into this new concept of learning-oriented assessment. For the researchers, there's some issues that come out of the literature you may be interested in. And then I'll go through a cycle that is being proposed for how learning-oriented assessment can work. So it's an individual learning program for even a 9-year-old to learn a language. And there are lots of things out there that do that. In an institutional sense, if you have a course that you hope everybody will complete, you can then also get individual information about each of your students. And
theory of universals, which too will be mainly derived, though again drawing upon many different traditions, but mainly derived from the Indian and the Hindu philosophical tradition as the foundation, metaphysical foundation for language, literature, cultural studies, and knowledge sources. So that's the plan, and then I'll see how much of that is accomplished.
In focusing on cultural studies and literature, my paper aims to highlight strategies. So in the second part of my presentation, I am going to introduce a course that I developed based on women's literature that incorporates cultural studies to globalize our students.
Generally, we all know that new historians.
Other writings he had, but metaphysical concepts.
In the late 18th century, Chintamani Mahapatra.
So, if there are 10 pages in the newspaper, only 3-4 pages, good amount of space is allotted for the business. World over, this is happening. And yes, the impact of it is the languages are also reduced to a business level and in the name of functional language, as simple as that. Yes, we are not teaching or we are not bothering, we are not at all considering that yes, we should teach or the students should learn more than the business language, more than the functional language. That is the whole problem. In the process, during this transition period, what has happened? Language should tell you this is how the differentiation comes from a robot and the human being. Robot can also speak, but it speaks without feeling. It speaks without an emotion. It speaks without any kind of psychological element. Yes, that is what we are trying to do it. We are teaching them and they are learning of it, and we are very much satisfied all over especially all over the country. I can't comment all over the world, but that must be happening.
1 year is equal to 365 days. It is a cycle. So, because all these are related to time, all are cycles. Now, I will explain the 7 Kala Chakras. You will understand the superiority of Vedic knowledge. To understand this, we must have the picture of creation. That is our universe. That is the book I have written. That is Creation of Science and published. This is the comment on that book. First, you please have this picture. Creation took place in 3 stages. Our universe is, or where we are living is, solar system. This is the 3rd stage of creation. This solar system is present in visible universe. That is the 2nd stage of creation.